Hey everyone, Eugene here. Today we have a very special guest with us.
Not so special. I'm just me. Hello. Eugene's asked me to come over today because we want to talk about like one of the most amazing trips that I've ever been on, and even more so as a new rider. That I was barely a year into riding, and so Eugene invites me on this trip, and he's like, "Hey, so I think you would enjoy this." This adventure in the Himalayas.
Well, I strongly persuaded Finn to go for the trip because I knew she was going to enjoy herself.
You know, being a new rider, I was a bit like, well, I mean, it's like mountain ranges and there's like river crossings from what I know from other people who have been there. Are you sure I can handle it? And he goes like, can, no problem.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
A real
But
adventure, right?
I'm glad I took him up on it because it really was life-changing. And I think that it changed, confidence aside, just my view on what touring was at that point. I didn't really know much about touring. Okay, but it changed my perspective. So we're gonna go through some fun little questions from what I understand today. So
now that we know who Finn is, let's get to know her a little bit more. Ta-da!
Is it a present?
No, these are questions for you. Okay, so choose your question.
Choose my question. Hope I get the worst question first and then get it over and done with. You were the only female rider on this trip. That's true. What was going through your mind before the ride started? I think that when the ride itself started, I'd kind of gotten to know everyone a little bit. So I was excited, you know, we'd been through a little bit of the village. I remember we went on like this tiny waterfall hike, so that helped me get comfortable with everyone in the group. So that was nice. So when we actually took off, it was there was a little bit of camaraderie going on already, so it was exciting. Not so much I didn't care about being the only female rider in the group at that point anymore, but it was just a lot of excitement, a lot of buzz, and I think I wasn't alone in that. It was just like everyone was excited to get started.
Yeah, everyone likes Finn on the trip, definitely.
Yeah, I didn't make a single enemy this time. Yeah.
Well, follow-up question. How do you think we can get more women like yourself to join a ride like this?
I think it's going to be a lot easier just with social media now, and I think what you're doing is great. We're doing a lot of promotion, or you're doing a lot of promotion with your new venture and stuff like that. So it's also changing in the sense that I think more women are seeing that there are other women like them. There are other women who are experienced riders, maybe not so experienced, but you can get together in groups. There are tours that can be custom and tailored to your level of experience, your level of comfort, the kind of things that you want to see, the adventures you want to go on. This kind of content is being made or more easily seen nowadays. So I think besides encouraging more female riders, you're just going to encourage a lot more riders in general.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so where's my little bingo? Was there a moment where you felt completely in your element, like, yeah, I belong here? Do you remember all the donkeys and the dogs?
I remember all the animals that Finn talked to.
So I always say that the only thing I took away from this trip was like any photo that I actually took was me with a donkey or was me with a dog. Every other photo I had was stolen from the WhatsApp group chat.
Wait, I got to correct that. Every other photo she took is actually taken by me.
Yeah.
So I'm the photographer and this is the style with all the animals and stuff like that.
It was never like, you know, when you're half squatting on a bike, you're going through a blasting zone, you're doing like a little water crossing. I was never those moments where I was like, yeah, I'm totally in my element. It was when I was next to a wild donkey and it was like donkey whispering it to like, come closer, let me touch your
There were donkeys, there were dogs, there were cats,
was there cats?
There were some cats.
It was mostly dogs and donkeys, but that was my element. That was, yeah. So not anything. If there are any animal people out there, that would be your element too.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, Finn enjoyed herself with the donkeys and
Spiti is known for its extreme terrain, and was there a moment that really tested you? Mud. A lot. We did this last. I remember very clearly. We were on the way back to.
Okay, I know exactly. where
Right,
you're
and we
talking.
had to go up this mountain, and some of it was hairpins, but some of it was just like straight up climb.
That was Rotang Pass, by the way, near Manali.
Yeah, but the mud was like maybe not yay high, but enough for you to be able to not see past your knees. And I was thinking, shit. Sorry, I can't say that, but like, I was thinking like shit the whole way. But then, what was the really big guy? He was always at the back of the group. He was just like chilling, but he was in front of me and he was chilling. And I was thinking like, man, we're on the same bikes. If he can do it, like, just close your eyes and just go, right?
Yeah.
But I think that because I hadn't been through that much off-roading before going on this trip, so thick, like lots and lots of thick mud was the only thing that I hadn't really been challenged on. So I think that was the most challenging for me.
Right.
Yeah. But other than that, I wiped out a couple times. I think my bike was in the worst.
Well, you dropped the bike a few times. So.
Well, I think my bike was in the worst condition at the end of the trip compared to everyone else. But I was fine. The gear saved my life, so.
Well, it's normal to drop the bikes, and it's off-road conditions after all. It's really, really normal.
Thanks for making me feel better.
Okay.
Spiti is breathtaking. What was the most beautiful or surreal view you saw? Chantal Lake?
Chantal, yeah.
And also, what was the name of that little one-road town that we were in?
Kaza was this little town where we did Finn got everyone else to do yoga exercises.
Oh, yeah.
Just
maybe
outside
it
the
was
hotel.
there. Pilates.
Pilates, yeah.
And I don't remember if it was that town, but I remember that town there was like a little grocery store and there was this like guardian puppy out front, and then I shared some bread with another stray. But that town at night, we were all sitting on the rooftop, and the view of the stars was just the most clear you've ever seen in your whole life. I think that was crazy. It was amazing. Lake Chandratal for sure. And at Lake Chandratal at night, cold as it was,
It was 5 degrees at night and frosted over in the morning when we woke up.
and they go like, oh, if you want to brush your teeth in the morning, make sure you keep the taps running. I was like, nobody's brushing their teeth tonight. Nobody's brushing their teeth tomorrow morning. We're all just gonna until we get some water or coffee or something that masks that morning breath. But yeah, we wake up in the morning and they have to warm up the bikes for a good 45 minutes or so, but the mirrors were all like icy. Right?
Frosted over, right? Yeah.
That's something I've never seen, but that was very, very cool. So I think those are the 3 top things.
Very nice.
But also, of course, donkeys everywhere.
Watch donkeys everywhere. Yeah.
If you had to describe the Spiti Valley or like the ride itself in one word, what would it be? This is 2 words. I'm gonna say
Okay, we'll give Finn the allowance times 2.
life-changing. I think it really does, like I said at the start, change your perspective on what touring and riding and adventure can be. And I think it's more than just going to see like a monument or a landmark. It's about the friendships, the memories that you create. It's so different from, hey, you want to go to Genting next Saturday morning? Or, hey, I've got a new friend, he wants to join our convoy and we'll go to like, KKB or something. This is so different. You travel, not halfway around the world, maybe halfway around the world for some of you, but it's just such an experience to meet new friends, to learn more about yourself, challenging yourself on these things. Like, heck, I was a terrible rider. I mean, brand new rider, but I survived. I think I did pretty well. I was so worried being a girl, like the only girl, like, oh man, like any problems I had to like, oh, girls don't know anything about bikes. But turns out I was at least more decent than some of the very nice people in our group. But again, it's like you learn these kind of things going on adventures, like the Himalayan expedition, meeting people like Eugene and his friends and all of the crazy people we met in the group. But it's more than just riding. I think it's really just about discovering more about yourself as an adventurer as well. It's just that we do it on 2 wheels on this expedition.
Yeah.
But life-changing.
Well, Finn was being really modest. She did really, really well. I think to be able to complete the entire trip.
Yeah. Well, it's also because I'm stubborn.
Yeah, just dropping the bike a couple of times is fairly normal, as I mentioned.
Yeah.
And the most important thing is you enjoyed yourself. And then you came back safe and sound. That's.
I mean, I wasn't gonna get left behind.
Well, no, but Finn definitely. We hope that she'll join us again on the next trip, on the next Right La Himalayan expedition.
For sure.
She's a little bit busy this year, but I'm just trying to convince her to go again for next year's trip.
No convincing needed. You can count on it. I will be there. Just can't say when. But yeah, it will be amazing. And how cool would it be if someone saw this video and I met one of you on the next ride that I go on? I think that's also part of the experience.
Yeah, and if you're there next time, we'll introduce you to the donkeys up there.
I'll help you. I'm really good at that. Yeah.
Thanks a lot for coming in, Finn. Really
No
glad
problem.
to see you.
Thanks for having me here, and I hope to see you guys too on the next ride.